Hi guys, Abby here. It's so nice to be able to do the devotional video today. I can't wait to see you guys in person though, and it's really exciting that things are starting to loosen up a bit, so the days until then seem a little bit shorter. But for now, I just wanted to share something that I feel like God's been teaching me. The other day I was out on a run and I was just kind of soaking in the sun and the beauty, and just kind of one of those moments where you're like, oh God, you're so good, you know. And I felt like God just kind of spoke into that moment and was just showing me, like, how cool is it that, you know, God has made himself trustworthy to us. You know, he doesn't really owe us anything, but he constantly makes it his mission to reveal himself to us. And we see that in Jesus, and through his spirit and through his word, and just how he's constantly trying to speak to us and show us his character and how much we have in him. And I think that's just amazing. And it drew me to Psalms 40 verse 4 through 5, and it says, "Oh, the joys of those who trust in the Lord, who have no confidence in the proud or in those who worship idols. O Lord my God, you have performed many wonders for us. Your plans for us are too numerous to list. You have no equal. If I tried to recite all your wonderful deeds, I would never come to the end of them." And isn't that just so true, that God just constantly shows us all these wonderful deeds and his amazing plans, and he's just showing us how faithful he is all the time. And yeah, so just with that, I was kind of like overwhelmed, like, wow, God's so good, and I want to trust him more. Like, I want to tap into this, and like, if he has my back, then like I can really go for things. And yeah, and then of course, you know, a couple of days later something happened and I was like, like freaking out, and then I felt like God's like, remember that trusting thing? And I was like, oh yeah. So it's cool, you know. And then I was like, actually, I'm kind of excited now to see how God sorts this out, because he just told me that I can trust him all the more. So let's see what he does with this, you know. I'm trying to hang on to that. Sometimes it's hard though. And then I was thinking, like, why does he want us to trust him? And I think the first verse, verse 4, speaks into that. And it says, "Oh, the joys of those who trust in the Lord." Another version says, "Blessed are those." And I think he wants to pour out his blessing on us and fill us with his joy. And I think he just knows how much we'll benefit from him. And so he wants us to come to him. He wants to be able to pour himself out onto us. And then the second reason, I think, is for his joy, and kind of like a kid, you know, coming to their parents for help, and it's just their joy to help them learn and grow. And so I thought it was that, and it made me think of in 1 Corinthians 3:9, it says that we are co-workers with God, or yeah, the full verse is, "For we are God's fellow workers." And that's just so cool, that like God wants to work with us. He doesn't want to dictate us. He doesn't want to boss us around, but he wants to work with us. I also just finished reading Leviticus, and there's in chapter 25, verse 23, it says, "For you are strangers and sojourners with me." Like, that's so cool. You know, it's like God isn't just waiting for us in heaven, but he's walking us there. You know, he's walking through this foreign land with us until we get home. And I think that's just, it really shows his heart. You know, he just wants to be with us. He just wants to be among us. And you can see that all the way through the Old Testament. And then when Jesus comes, and, you know, he's literally among us, and then with his spirit inside us. And I think it's just God's heart for us to be with him, you know. And so it's for his joy and for our joy, I think, that he wants us to trust in him. And then for those of you who don't know me, I'm a ballet dancer, so I kind of think in ballet terms sometimes. So I hope this works. But I was thinking about partnering, and how it's so important to trust your partner. If you don't trust your partner, then most likely somebody's going to get hurt. The dance is going to look super stiff and just have no flow. And it's just not a joy to dance with someone you don't trust with, who you don't trust. And so I was thinking, like, isn't that the same with God though? Like, as soon as I trust my partner, as soon as I trust his strength and his knowledge and his wisdom, then the dance works perfectly, you know, because I can relax and I'm free to do my part. and I don't have to worry about getting off the ground, or I don't have to worry about falling. And I feel like it's just the same with God, you know, when we tap into his power, and when we trust him with our lives, and we take those leaps and we take those jumps knowing he's going to catch us, it gives us so much freedom to do our part in the dance, you know. And yeah, I just think it's cool, but I also have to let him lead, you know. The dance only works if I let him lead me, and then again I have the freedom to do my part. And I think it's the same with God. It is a partnership, but we still need to let him lead us, because he knows, you know, he knows how to carry us, and we can't I can't get off the ground by myself. Yeah, so it's just a cool, I don't know, kind of a cool analogy. I hope it works for you too, and that you can just totally give in to God. And I'm still learning what that means, and what that looks like practically, but I am so excited to see what God does with that, and I think he's so worthy of our trust, and only good things can come from it. So be blessed, everybody. Bye.